Islam Makhachev felt his heart pound as soon as the opening bell rang for UFC 317's main event between Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira. He felt a deep respect for both men. Topuria's power and Oliveira's guillotine chokes were on full display. Islam smiled, feeling proud that MMA fans would soon hear his breakdown. He could not wait to share every detail with the world, his final assessment, framing the fight as a battle of wills and game plans. Before the fight, he said Oliveira's path to victory required flawless timing. One mistimed takedown attempt, and he'd find himself stuck under Topuria's weight, eating shots from the bottom. Conversely, Topuria needed to respect Oliveira's submission threats and keep his chin tucked. Islam reminded fans that MMA is like a three-dimensional chess match, with each move creating new possibilities. He illustrated this with a simple analogy. It's like playing tag. If you run too fast, you might trip, but if you're too slow, you'll get tagged out. He ended by calling the fight a true 50-50, a toss-up that hinges on which man can make his plan work under fire. His clear, down-to-earth language made it easy for anyone, even someone who'd never trained, to grasp the fight's key moments. Now that the fight is over, he wants his title back and warns the victor that after he conquers the welterweight title, he will come back for what's rightfully his. We will continue on this, but first, let's take a look at Jon Jones, who saw Khabib Nurmagomedov's message and it struck him deeply. Khabib, a fighter known for unmatched discipline, went on Instagram to type a note of pure respect. He wrote that Jones was the best to ever do it, even though they never trained together or fought head-to-head. As he tapped out each word, Khabib thought about all the moments they shared in the UFC, watching each other's highlight reels in gyms around the globe. Jon read those kind words early in the morning in Colorado, his phone buzzing with notifications from friends and media. He sat on his porch, coffee in hand, and took a moment to absorb the praise from a fellow legend. Jones admitted he was surprised and truly humbled. He had spent years facing criticism and controversy, yet here was Khabib saying he had nothing left to prove. Fans around the world paused their scrolls, reading the heartfelt exchange. MMA gyms shared screenshots, and every corner of social media lit up with respect for two champions in different weight classes. This moment reminded everyone that beyond rivalries and title belts, there is real camaraderie among fighters who risk everything inside the cage. It was the kind of message that warmed the hearts of even the toughest fight fans. Jon Jones kept the conversation going by replying to questions from his followers. One fan asked why Tom Aspinall, an imposing heavyweight up-and-comer, never got the chance to square off against him. The fan called it a shame, saying it would have been the fight of the century. Jones grinned at his phone, typing back that Aspinall might have been dodging him and joking that he would love that matchup. He reminded everyone that he debuted in the UFC way back in 2011, while Aspinall had only just moved up from local British promotions to the big leagues. Jones laughed out loud as he wrote, "Man, we could have done this years ago," adding a playful LOL at the end. His tone broke through the usual seriousness that surrounds champion fighters. Within minutes, the exchange exploded with likes and retweets. Fans debated the what-ifs and listed names of other dream opponents Jones never faced. MMA commentators chimed in on podcasts, replaying Jones's tweets and speculating on why certain fights never materialized. Even casual viewers got pulled into the lively discussion. The thread showed a side of Jones fans rarely saw: relaxed, humorous, and honest about the business side of matchmaking. It reminded everyone that fighters are human too. They miss chances, make jokes, and imagine alternate histories just like we do. Max Holloway, a former featherweight champion, brought a unique lens to the Topuria-Oliveira showdown. He leaned into his phone's camera on his YouTube channel, adjusting a baseball cap backward and smiling at fans. Holloway had first-hand experience with both men. He lost to Topuria by knockout after an intense exchange, and back in 2015, he stopped Oliveira by ground and pound. His respect for them ran deep. He said the fight was wide open and that fans shouldn't count either man out until the final horn. When talking about Topuria, he praised that powerful left hook that sent Holloway to the canvas in his last fight. He mimicked the angle Topuria used, arms extended in front of him like a boxer, to help viewers see what he saw in the octagon. Then he shifted to Oliveira, discussing that same fighter's smooth ground transitions, half guard, full guard, mount, each position flowing like water. Holloway said this fight would likely end in the first few minutes because both athletes bring huge energy right from the bell. He told viewers to watch for the moment when Topuria lands heavy or Oliveira plants his feet for a takedown setup. His voice rose with excitement as he described the danger each man carries. Holloway's breakdown mixed technical details like foot angles and level changes with honest hype that got casual viewers and hardcore fans alike on the edge of their seats. Israel Adesanya offered a different view, focusing on the chess match inside the cage. He began his analysis casually, leaning against a wall in his striking gym in Las Vegas. "If you're Charles," he said, "you don't stand in front of that power, you take it to the ground." Adesanya's own career as a kickboxer and UFC champion taught him that getting punched by a heavy hitter can end the fight in seconds. He advised Oliveira to use feints, fake jabs, and kicks to freeze Topuria's guard, then quickly level change to clinch range. He explained step by step. Step in, drive your shoulder into his midsection, hug for the underhook, and work the fence. Don't be fancy, keep your base low. Adesanya even demonstrated a simple leg trip, grabbing an ankle and rotating the body to bring a big man down. He stressed patience. Control the pace so Topuria's power doesn't come into play. Be a mat technician, he said. Don't be a striker in that fight. Yet Adesanya admitted he still liked Topuria's chances if Oliveira ignored the wrestling advice and traded bombs. His analysis balanced respect for Oliveira's ground skills with a clear warning: Topuria's power is always looming. Adesanya's breakdown gave fans a vivid blueprint of how to neutralize a heavy hitter using moves they could picture even if they'd never wrestled before. Alexander Volkanovski's take came fresh from his own camp, where he's been developing new striking combinations. He spoke with quiet confidence, noting that Oliveira's aggressive forward style creates openings for counter-strikes. He described the way Oliveira dips his head and steps in a straight line, leaving the side of his face exposed. "When you see that, you throw the uppercut or knee," Volkanovski explained, hands miming an upward punch. He told fans to watch how Topuria moves his lead foot to the outside, creating an angle away from Oliveira's power hand. He talked about using feints to invite a reckless entry, then springing a sharp hook as the other fighter commits. Volkanovski even mentioned the role of leg kicks, how low kicks can sap a foe's mobility and make his entries slower. He urged viewers to notice the small moments: a dropped elbow, a shift of weight, a breath taken before a shot. Each tiny cue tells a story. Volkanovski's analysis was a masterclass in reading an opponent's habits and punishing them. His calm voice and clear descriptions made it easy for fans of all levels to understand why style matchups matter so much. Kamaru Usman brought the gym to life with his sparring stories. He described a session where Topuria's body shots landed so hard, they echoed through the mat. "Every time I threw a liver shot, I felt his ribs vibrate," Usman recalled, grinning at the memory. He said Topuria's punches weren't just powerful, they were precise, aimed at the seams between ribs where flesh is most vulnerable. Usman explained how this repeated body attack wears a fighter down, slowing his guard and sapping strength. He told fans to imagine jabs to distract, then a sudden hook to the body. "It's like a jackhammer," he said. Usman also praised Oliveira's resilience and quick chaining of submissions when opponents overreach. He mentioned Oliveira's guillotine choke against Chandler as a perfect example of opportunistic grappling, yet he stressed that if Topuria lands one of those body shots early, Oliveira might never get the chance to work from his back. Usman's breakdown felt like a peek into a hard-earned training diary, full of drills, sweat, and the respect earned from facing an elite body striker. Robert Whittaker talked about the art of dirty boxing and inside work that sets Topuria apart. "He's not just a boxer or wrestler, he blends them," Whittaker said, recalling how Topuria sneaks elbows and short hooks between framing the arms. He described how Topuria uses underhooks to control distance, then snaps off elbows to the head and midsection, all while tightening a clinch. Whittaker compared it to weaving. Each strike threads through the opponent's guard. He warned that Oliveira's textbook style, nice low kicks, textbook arm drags, can look pretty but leaves openings when he steps in too predictably. Whittaker said fans should watch how Topuria slips a jab and immediately lunges into a clinch that turns into a dirty boxing sequence. "That's when you see blood trickle or a fighter grimace," he noted. Whittaker praised Oliveira's own grit, how he keeps coming back from deep submission attempts, but said he doubted Oliveira could handle that relentless inside pressure for 5 rounds. His analysis painted a vivid picture of a brawl in close quarters, where each fighter's smaller techniques decide the winner. The show closed on a lighter note with the top 3 memes celebrating this epic clash. The third-place meme showed Topuria as a medieval knight charging into battle, sword in hand, complete with a jousting helmet photoshopped onto his head. Fans laughed at the absurdity and clever Photoshop work. The second meme had Oliveira reading a page-turner in a library captioned, "Studying submissions like homework," and commenters praised its cute yet funny take on his grappling genius. The #1 meme mashed up Topuria's knockout kick with a famous cartoon scene of a character springing into action. The timing so perfect it made viewers roar with laughter. Host jokes about which meme deserved a belt similar to a UFC title added to the banter. They reminded fans that MMA culture is about more than punches. It's about community, humor, and shared excitement. As they signed off, the hosts encouraged everyone to like, subscribe, and share their own favorite memes in the comments. They teased upcoming breakdowns, behind-the-scenes interviews, and live reactions for the next big fight night. With a final shout-out to all fighters, analysts, and meme creators, they left fans eager and ready for the next chapter in MMA's ever-unfolding story.